The heaviest rain and really the most impactful rain holds off until Friday night going into Saturday, but we already have a little bit of rain out there right now, about 10% coverage like the forecast calls for, and that's exactly what we're seeing. Now, most of us just seeing the cloud cover, but a few of us seeing rain mainly to the southeast of DFW. I'm thinking closer towards Kaufman, Henderson, Navarro County, even portions of Dallas County, seeing a little bit of activity there. And this is really what we're going to see today. If you see the rain, it's going to be a brief shower. We're not expecting anything widespread. Coverage remains pretty low, 73 degrees right now, but we do make it to about 82. Okay, like I said, the most impactful rain. This is why we have a WFAA weather alert. Friday night through Saturday, the impact will be the heavy rain with rainfall totals of 1 to 2 inches, isolated higher amounts. What you need to do at this point is make sure to have WFAA Plus. That way you can stay updated, and that way we can alert you if we need to. 1 to 2 inches of widespread rain expected across all of North Texas. We could see some slightly higher amounts right along the Red River, and isolated amounts that are higher than 2 inches. Some models certainly indicating that, not completely ruled out. And all of this is happening because of a big system that's currently over the Four Corners. But ahead of that, we are already seeing the rain and a little bit of cloud cover as well. So there's the rain again, 10% coverage, and that'll take us really through the afternoon. You see kind of some random scattered showers popping up. Tonight, we could very well see some thunderstorms mainly along our far western counties. If we were to see any strong storms tonight, it's going to be west of DFW, west of North Texas, closer to Wichita Falls and Haskell. That's where a level 2 out of 5 exists for the potential of up to 60-mile-per-hour winds and up to quarter-size hail. Again, that is not going to be the primary threat. The primary threat the next couple of days is the heavy rain. Friday morning, I do think we'll see some scattered rain in the area. Yes, this could impact your morning drive. So go ahead and plan on waking up early, joining us on WFAA's Daybreak so we can time out the rain for you as it's happening. But throughout the morning, we're going to see it kind of thin out, and then we'll see kind of a break in the rain around midday Friday. Friday evening, that's when that main line of rain moves in. This is showing around 7. Around 7, we'll see that rain along our western counties, and then it closes in on the rest of North Texas overnight. Overnight is when we see the most widespread rain and the heaviest rain for the time frame. So we'll continue to see this pushing from west to east. This is now around midnight Friday night going into Saturday, and around 7 in the morning we'll see a lot of this pushing out towards the east. I do think we see a break in the rain come midday Saturday. Now Friday night, if we see any strong storms, they're going to be to the southwest, but the primary threat is the heavy rain. I've got to switch models and take you through the day Saturday. Saturday, again, the heaviest rain will have pushed to the east in the morning time, east of DFW at least, so our eastern counties. We see a break around midday, and then later in the day, as the front is coming in the evening time, this is around 7, we get another batch of rain. Now, this is going to really, how much rain we see with that batch is going to depend on how much rain fell the previous round. So make sure to stay tuned and updated with us throughout the entire event. A quick update on the tropics. We still have Tropical Storm Melissa likely transitioning to a hurricane sometime this evening in the Caribbean. If you're headed to Jamaica, Haiti, or even the Dominican Republic, definitely want to make sure to stay tuned to the forecast.
We've got a lot to discuss when it comes to the changing weather forecast, and so I'll start you off with our headlines. Today is another really beautiful day. It's mainly mild. Yes, you'll encounter a couple of isolated showers, mainly along the coastline, but nothing compared to what we're gearing up for on Saturday. Stormy downpours, and there's more that comes with that. Maybe the threat for some gusty winds as well. And then we're also tracking a big cool down just in time for Halloween. Let's start with Saturday because it is a weather impact alert day. Widespread rain, 1 to 3 inches across the area. Some spots are going to pick up more, so there will be pockets that get anywhere between 4 to 6 inches of rainfall. Rain starts early on Saturday. It actually starts developing during the overnight hours, late Friday into Saturday, and several rounds continue even into the evening. So accumulating rainfall is what brings us that threat for street flooding. In addition to just the rainfall rates themselves, it's going to be pretty heavy rainfall. And so if that comes down in a quick amount of time, you know what happens with the Houston streets, especially areas with poor drainage, like in the Galleria, for example, or downtown. Then we could get those standing water situations, high water spots, ponding, and street flooding. In addition to that, the force of the front actually pushing through here could lead to some gusty wind as well. So here's a snapshot of the next 5 days. Today it's only a 20% chance for isolated showers. So we're just building that moisture in. Most of the shower chances are going to be along the coastline. On our Friday, we have a little bit more tension. Not only has the moisture built up from the coast, the front is getting closer to us. In fact, it's traveling along the I-35 corridor on Friday. And then eventually, by the time it gets here, well, widespread rain is what's coming to Houston, which is why those rain chances are at 100. It's pretty much a shoo-in for you to see rain on Saturday. 82 degrees right now at Bush Intercontinental Airport. It is a little warmer than yesterday. We're up by 4 degrees. The breeze out of the south now, east-southeast at 8 miles an hour. And so the dew points are much higher than where they were yesterday. We enjoyed dew points in the 40s and 50s yesterday, which means the air was nice and dry. Now it's a little bit more muggy, so 82 actually already feels like 85. So you do have to factor in some of the heat index for today. Live look at the Gulf Freeway, looking back towards downtown. Stormy looking sky. I actually was hearing a little chatter in the newsroom upstairs about, oh, is it going to rain? Yes, we've got some building clouds for sure. I think a lot of us are going to stay rain-free for this afternoon, but isolated showers here and there possible, definitely. We're seeing the highest likelihood right now in Galveston and along Matagorda and Brazoria. Temperature is pretty steady everywhere because of the cloud cover. We're not going to heat up a whole lot. So here's a look at radar. These are just popcorn showers, very isolated, not widespread rain by any means, but yeah, they have some energy there. So just a quick little downpour as they pass through. 288 seeing a little bit more activity too, and just west of there towards West Columbia and Sweeney. Richwood seeing some rain as well. And there is an isolated pocket. If you're traveling along the refineries, you'll have a little bit of rain there. Otherwise, that's pretty much it. No rain for the Loop or the Beltway. Most of Harris County is nice and dry right now. High temperature is 87 for today, and it's a 20% chance for an isolated shower. We increased the rain chances to 30% on Friday, so you'll see a little bit more of what you just saw scattered about the area. And then on Saturday, 100 means widespread rain. The front is going to sweep through the entire area. And it's not going to be raining all day long, but we will definitely see some considerable rain potential, especially during the early morning hours, and so that keeps the temperature pretty low. The high only makes it up to 76 degrees. Future track radar showing us showers along the coastline right now. We could see some of that lift up towards the city by about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Same timeline for tomorrow, just a little bit more coverage, but it's light in nature. The green tells me there's not a ton of accumulation. Ooh, you saw how bright it got there. As the front does get in here late Friday into early Saturday, that's when we're going to start to see a few inches of rainfall. This is round one. We'll see another round in the afternoon and evening, so that's 6 o'clock, and then some lingering showers even into 10 p.m. possible. So how much are we going to get with all this accumulating rain? So Friday you saw was pretty light green, which means not a lot of accumulation, so maybe 5/100ths of an inch of rain up to about 1/10 of an inch of rain, maybe closer to 1/4 the closer we get to the coastline. But that all starts to change as we go to Saturday morning. Now we're looking at a few inches in a couple spots, somewhere along Walker County, maybe 1/2 inch. Livingston showing up closer to 2 inches, Harris County pockets close to 2 inches too, and then League City to Galveston showing the same. Now because we've got more rain in the afternoon and evening, now I'll take you all the way through Saturday night and the accumulation looks like this. So there is a possibility that some areas pick up 5 to 6 inches of rainfall, and those are the areas that we're going to have to monitor for high water and localized street flooding. We have been upgraded to a threat level 2 for the entire area. So yesterday it was mainly Harris County and towards the east, so towards Liberty into Louisiana. Now this has shifted a little bit further west and includes all of us. So Washington, Austin, Colorado, Wharton down to the coastline, under a slight risk for that. In addition to accumulating rainfall, we're also going to have to watch the strength of the front. It's a squall line, so just the nature of how these storms form pushes wind as it muscles through southeast Texas. Now, this particular run doesn't have a big bowing motion. If I do start to see a big bow, for example, that's when I would think that those gusty winds are going to be more of an issue. And with that, ahead of the main line, we could even see a few spin-ups. So isolated tornadoes, something we'll also be monitoring, although the threat isn't exceptionally high with this, but it's still there, so we want to mention it to you. It's a threat level 1 on the 1 to 5 scale. And now is a really good time to make sure you have alerts turned on so that if we do see a strong storm cell moving in your particular neighborhood, we'll be able to call it out to you. And so you can take the necessary precautions, perhaps going into the interior space of your home, away from walls and windows, etc. But you definitely just want to take the preemptive approach of just not traveling on your Saturday, not hitting the road, not being out in your car. It's just going to be a really messy day. This first front is dropping our temperatures a little bit, but we rebound right back up Monday, Tuesday above what's average for this time of year, which should be 81. And then as we go into next week, that's when we'll actually get a true fall front that is going to drop our temperatures. So the first front here that arrives on Saturday is a rainmaker. I think we could squeeze out some showers with the Tuesday front that comes in next week, so I'll have to hike up the rain chances for this coming Tuesday. But for the most part, I am going to be watching some nice chilly air dropping in from the north just in time for your Halloween. 72 degrees, that is your forecast high on Halloween. And for the evening, it gets cool, 40s and 50s, no rain, which is a good thing. Hey, still looking at Tropical Storm Melissa. Here's your update as of 10 o'clock this morning. It's dropped its intensity a little bit, but just momentarily, because now the National Hurricane Center is thinking this is going to intensify into a Cat 4 major hurricane as it pushes towards Jamaica. Now, the cone of uncertainty gets pretty wide here. It's going to meander in this general vicinity for quite some time. But just to give you a little bit of peace of mind, that's a look at Monday. So there you go, near Jamaica. As we go into Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday timeframe, then it starts to take that easterly turn and goes out towards the eastern seaboard. So this time of year, these fall fronts that we're getting keeps those systems nudged far south, and then they either take that east turn or clash closer towards Central America. All right, 7-day forecast. Let's go over this one more time. So today, isolated rain showers mainly along the coast. Tomorrow, a couple more scattered storms around the area, but it's not all day rain and it's not super heavy. Now, Saturday, now we're looking at the line actually sweeping through the area. So all of us are going to see some form of shower activity, and it could be on the heavy side. So a few spots could pick up 4 to 6 inches of rainfall. It's possible to see a few isolated rain showers lingering even into our Sunday, and then we quiet things down. Monday, Tuesday is the day when we see that next front roll in that's actually going to drop our temperatures. Now, Saturday is in bright red, a weather impact alert day. Try and not schedule too many things on Saturday. Just make it a nice, lazy day. This is one that we'll be monitoring. We haven't had this kind of rainfall in a long, long time, and so we do need the accumulating rainfall for the drought monitor. We just have to be careful out on the roads.
All right, let's talk about weather here in San Antonio. It's partly cloudy outside. It's mostly clear. But what's it going to be for Halloween? Well, hopefully, and it looks like this right now, a little cooler. So like highs in the lower 80s on Halloween day, so next Friday. And then trick-or-treat time, probably in the 70s. It's going to be very dry outside, lower humidities. It's probably going to feel really nice. A beautiful Friday night for Halloween Eve. Or Halloween night. And it's looking pretty good. No rain expected late next week, but we do have a chance for a few storms tomorrow night into early Saturday, which we'll show you in a second. We'll have the timeline in the hour by hour. First, the drought report. So this was back in mid-September. We were doing decent. Things were improving slowly. The hill country was out of drought in mid-September, and the extreme to exceptional pocket of drought was backing off, moving farther south and west. But now fast forward today, it's expanding pretty rapidly. Anywhere from San Antonio, Austin, Gonzales, towards Atascosa County, just a huge pocket of extreme drought. The exceptional drought continues to remain at that similar size in southern Medina County, south of Hondo. But yeah, we need rain, and we do have some in the forecast. Tomorrow, 88 degrees. Friday night into early Saturday, that's when we have the best opportunity at seeing scattered rain and a few heavy downpours. and a few thunderstorms will be possible late tomorrow night. I would say primarily after about 8, 9 o'clock. And then our western counties like towards Kerr County and then towards Del Rio will be the first to see this line of storms developing out to the farther west. All right, let's talk about it. So it's going to be ahead of a weak frontal boundary that'll provide lift and energy in the atmosphere. Let's go through it locally. So you'll see by tomorrow afternoon, partly to mostly cloudy, highs in the upper 80s. And not bad, maybe a couple of isolated showers during the day. But the best chance and window for thunderstorms is late tomorrow night. There's 9 o'clock. It's clear in San Antonio, but this line will move in from west to east and then move through the city, likely in the overnight hours. So it's late Friday night, maybe some Halloween parties or celebrations happening. There could be a couple of areas of thunder and lightning, maybe some small hail and some locally heavy rain. And then by the day on Saturday, most of it's moving out, and just some isolated activity for the back half of the weekend. And notice by Saturday night, it's mostly clear. Temperatures in the mid-70s and mostly quiet across the area, so looking pretty good there. All right, let's talk about it on the 14-day forecast. Next couple of days, next couple of afternoons, I should say, it's quiet, highs in the upper 80s. And then by Saturday, there's that chance for rain, primarily pre-dawn hours, early morning hours. And then by the afternoon, I think skies mostly clear. There will be some isolated leftover activity during the first half of the weekend, but by and large, through Sunday, skies clear, high near 87. The morning on Sunday should feel awesome with lower humidity and middle to lower 60s in San Antonio, mostly clear skies as well.
There is a chance of maybe a few of those stronger storms as well as locally heavy rain that could lead to flash flooding. But right now we're looking mostly cloudy. Quick look outside at our Zach Theater weather camera as well as our tower cam overlooking downtown. And we're in the upper 70s here. But as we take a look across our region, mostly low to mid 80s in the coastal plains counties and even northern sections of the hill country. And also some areas like Blanco and San Marcos checking in with lower 80s. Everyone else mostly in those upper 70s. No real reading from Cameron this afternoon. Now today's high, we're looking at around 89 degrees, looking mostly sunny eventually, but it is going to be tomorrow night and into early Saturday morning we're tracking. This is at around 10 o'clock, and there's that line of storms making its way through sections of the hill country. It's going to be the hill country getting in on the action first, guys. And as we head through around midnight, this is when that line of storms does make its way on into the Austin metro, and then eventually it'll sweep on out through the overnight hours of Saturday and into early Sunday. Now, Saturday morning at around 4 a.m. could still have a few residual showers because of overrunning, which is where you get some of that moisture going over that frontal boundary and dropping some good bits of rain even behind the front. But then afterwards, Saturday, we expect to be mostly dry, and we expect maybe a few off and on showers and storms during the day. However, Saturday rainfall after everything's said and done, looking at around 3/4 of an inch, maybe even 1.5 inches, maybe even 2 inches in isolated spots. And we really could use that because we saw our drought monitor this morning and it's starting to worsen even in some sections of the hill country, getting now into that moderate level of drought and more severe drought or extreme drought as well, especially over sections of Fayette County now, in addition to northwestern sections of Caldwell County. And again, most of Hays County and Travis County involved. But look at this, Friday flood outlook, 2 out of 4 slight risk of excessive rainfall for most of our KVUE counties, and that does drop to a 1 out of 4 for your Saturday. But when we look at the severe threat, Friday and Friday night, we're really going to be watching the hill country, especially for the possibility of some hail, as well as some damaging winds with some of that isolated downpours that we do see. Rainfall I have at medium, but hail and damaging winds I still have in the low threat, but it is still a threat nonetheless. Quick look at your allergy count, ragweed medium, mold high, fall elm in the low. You can find that each and every day on KVUE.com and the KVUE app. Another note, after that front moves through, we'll only have a high of around 80 for your Saturday before rebounding right back to those upper 80s by the time we get to the latter part of the weekend and early next week. We do have another front coming in Tuesday into Wednesday. That'll drop our highs to the upper 70s. That is still 6 days out though, so we're going to watch that trend closely.
Weather department is finally getting exciting. We've got a system coming in that's going to bring us plentiful moisture and could even have some rowdy thunderstorm activity and could even be when it's dark outside and yes, over the weekend. So things are about to get quite interesting. Right now, it's calm and quiet. Winds about 10 miles an hour out of the south-southeast. What's that mean? Humidity's up when we have a southeasterly flow. So you can feel it's kind of balmy. The air's getting heavier, more cloud cover, more and more so throughout the day today. So mostly cloudy skies looking out over Waco. You can see those clouds I just mentioned. It is 73 in Waco right now. Live look out at temperatures. It's now 11-19, 79 in Hamilton. Everyone with the south wind, humidity is up at about 65-70%, 77 in Marlin for right now. We'll top out in the 80s this afternoon. Increase in moisture, low pressure out in West Texas. All of that in eastern New Mexico, West Texas, slowly going to scoot over towards the east over the next couple of days. More and more rain on radar. A lot of it's going to hold off till tomorrow, though. I will mention, especially northeast, you can see this morning a couple of sprinkles. Not anticipating for any accumulations today, though. Let's go slowly over these next couple of models here. This is a shorter range model called the Graph. It is performing pretty well day of and the next day. So let's go over and pay attention by my head here to the timestamp. Rest of today. Partly to mostly cloudy skies, humidity is up, sprinkles will be possible, but no accumulating rainfall. I think this thunderstorm activity for the most part, it holds off till Friday. Friday morning, we wake up. Sprinkles can be possible in the morning and early afternoon, but the heavy thunderstorm activity is likely to hold off until the PM hours. And when I say PM hours, it can be as early if you are west of 35 as when the sun is going down. Line of thunderstorms coming in from the big country in West Texas, going to march from west to east. Gusty winds, thunder, lightning, dramatic is what it is likely to be when it does reach your location. There's about a 90% chance. It basically, I want to say 100% chance, but just in case one or two towns unfortunately misses out because it skips you. Other than that, it is almost a guarantee that you're going to see rainfall Friday night and overnight hours into Saturday morning. So again, paying attention to the timestamp here. 7-8 p.m. approaching our western counties. Fast forward, 11 midnight, Friday night into Saturday morning early. Line of thunderstorms reaches I-35 corridor. And again, it's almost a guarantee you're going to see rain. Technically, these lines can break up a tiny bit, but the great majority of us are going to see rain. And a lot of us likely 1 inch to 2 inches of rain Friday night into Saturday morning. Now, if this line moves out quicker, if it starts to bow out, winds are going to be higher. If it slows down, it can drastically impact the rain totals overall. That main line is going to clear out Saturday morning. We wake up. It's partly to mostly cloudy skies. Isolated thunderstorms will be possible through Saturday night, as you can see, but it's going to be lesser and lesser in terms of coverage throughout the day on Saturday. By the way, high temperatures tomorrow are going to be slightly higher than today before the cold front and associated rainfall get here. Level 1 risk for the I-35 corridor, western counties. Level 2 slight risk that you see a severe thunderstorm. That would likely be for straight line winds. There's a low end hail threat as well. So again, regional futurecast is going to be cooler weather on the way. It is going to be quite warm today and tomorrow. Ahead of that, and the precipitation, the bulk of it is going to be Friday night into early on Saturday morning. It clears out from west to east in the PM hours on Saturday. We can have lingering evening thunderstorms, but it looks like that likelihood is pretty low, and a lot of the rain again is going to fall between Friday night and early on Saturday. So overall, if you have outdoor plans this weekend, if they're Saturday morning, you may want to either change them or no, it may still be raining at my house. This map, haven't seen something like this in quite some time. Widespread 2-inch totals, could even see some that are even higher. By the way, Tropical Storm Melissa causing all sorts of issues down in the Caribbean. Jamaica may see a major hurricane over the next few days. Weather impact alert for Friday into Saturday. Again, you want to stick with this forecast. On 6 Plus, we'll be posting, is free by the way, we'll be posting videos, updates, all sorts of things on social media as well as this system does approach.
Right now, here's a look at our satellite radar imagery where we are looking at some spotty showers out there. A lot of this activity is kind of in the Aransas Bay, the Redfish Bay, Copano Bay area, so around Port Aransas to Rockport, also near our port, the Refinery Row, those areas. It looks like a spotty shower has popped up. What we are watching, This is the low pressure system that has a chance of bringing us cooler weather as we're heading into Halloween weekend. High pressure building behind or in between two low pressure systems. This one is the cutoff low that's going to bring us a chance for some potentially strong to severe thunderstorms across Texas as we head into the next 3 days. For now, Corpus Christi is not in the risk of severe storms. We only have a tiny chance for a spotty shower. 90 degrees your high today. Wind will be out of the east-southeast into this afternoon. We could see some gusts around 20-25 miles per hour, but overall sustained closer to 15 miles per hour. Sunrise came up at 7:35 a.m. Your sunset will be at 6:53 p.m., believe it or not. So we do have a chance of rain, as I mentioned, but that's a tiny chance of rain, roughly at 20% today, tomorrow. We boost those rain chances into Saturday, and it looks like Saturday morning may be the best shot. And it also looks like areas to the north and northwest, or northeast rather, have the best opportunity of rainfall with some scattered storms in the area, isolated rain more so to the southwest. So here's why. This low pressure system, you see all of the energy associated with it, right? So this energy is just going to skirt to the north of the coastal bend. And so essentially that's going to keep most of the rainfall to our north. You'll see that here. Now the northern watershed could get in on some of that rainfall, but the western coastal bend has the lowest chance of rain with this storm system. Areas between Victoria and Houston have a higher chance of some flooding, as well as then up through the hill country and Dallas. We are talking flooding potential across the Interstate 35 corridor heading Friday night into Saturday morning, and then of course into Houston more so Saturday. Our best shot of rainfall does look like it may come overnight, well really early Saturday morning. So we'll break it down on Futurecast. Warm front is lifting north, some thunderstorms developing along that warm front, and then the cold front. Into Friday afternoon we get these isolated storms along the cold front. That's not a good sign. That allows the storms to get stronger, and then they have a greater risk of damaging wind, tornadoes, and even hail the more isolated they are, especially in this part of Texas, into West Texas. The squall line advances out ahead of the front. That will likely weaken it, but it keeps a decent amount of heavy rain, flooding risk, especially for the hill country again, heading into Saturday morning. But these storms begin passing over I-35. This is paused 3 a.m. on Saturday, so approaching Houston and then into the northern coastal bend. So we do have a chance for some showers there from Duval County to San Patricio County, but south of that it's going to be difficult to get some rain. A chance for a spotty shower until the front officially passes through. Then that second front, it is looking a little weaker. It's not quite as strong as some of the signs earlier in the week held. So we are still watching the 29th for that front, and we are still keeping an eye on near average temperatures possible for Halloween, which would be much cooler than we're at right now. Your high today, 91 degrees.